Welcome to the Public Speaking Experts Podcast with Elliot K. and Jose Ucar. Every week we bring the tips, tools, and strategies for you to become a world-class public speaker. We bring you guests, experts, and authorities in the field of public speaking to enrich you and enhance your public speaking journey. Remember to subscribe, rate, and comment. And now, please welcome your hosts, Elliot and Jose.
It's another episode. It's exciting. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build an authority in your niche. How exciting is that, Jose?
You really want me to say how excited that is? Hold on a second, because I need to clear my voice first. That is amazing. That is super exciting. Imagine, people, what you're going to be like by the time you finish listening to this episode. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You're going to be an authority in your niche. I love it. My name's Elliot K, and I'm one half of the Public Speaking Expert Podcast, and I've got my co-host,
Jose Ucar, right here, right now. So what are we doing, Elliot? Quick introductions of each other? Or?
Quick introductions, yes. So I will kick this off, shall I?
Of course. Over to you. Great to have you on the show, by the way.
Thanks for having me. Nice to have you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
You do know this is the Public Speaking Expert Podcast, right? Just checking.
Yeah, we're going to triple check. This is the Public Speaking Experts Podcast. So
okay,
Jose knows. Jose knows where he is today.
Expert Podcast.
Yeah, we decided to call it this because we are the Public Speaking Experts, and then we have a podcast together, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Indeed.
Fantastic. Yeah, cool.
So my name is Elliot K, and I have over a decade now of working with business owners and entrepreneurs to be more giraffe, to stand out in the industry, to stick their neck above the rest, to be seen, be heard as the go-to authority. And I do that through the use of public speaking training. That is right. And my fifth book is ready.
Woo!
Have you seen that yet? Have you seen?
I hadn't seen it printed, so I want a copy. Or
so for those of you listening, I just showed Jose a printed copy of my fifth book, which will be out on the 7th of October. I've got 8,000 hours of delivering talks globally, probably a bit more now. I've written 4 books. This is my 5th book, so 2 of them bestsellers. And I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I love it. Jose, over to you.
What a lovely introduction. And what excited me the most was to see the book finally printed. Elliot, congratulations, buddy. I think, yes. I was going to give you a round of applause, so play a round of applause quickly before I intro myself.
Thank you. Book number 5, baby. Not bad for someone that's told that he can't write and he can't read. Not bad for a dyslexic, huh? Book number 5.
That is amazing. Well done, Elliot. And you just mentioned something that we could definitely have an episode around mindset, the mindset of speakers and things like that.
Yeah,
because you are a speaker and yet you've written 5 books. Exactly.
Do this.
Okay. Is that? Yeah. Whoa. Right. So my turn for a quick introduction. My name, you know it. I'm a communication and public speaking coach, and I'm also a neuro-linguistic programming master trainer. So I'm all about supporting people, businesses, and individuals to stand out, connect with their audiences in a very unique way, and to deliver their greatness. Because you have got greatness to share. So that's what I do. That's how I help you. And I also like to say, boom. Yeah, exactly. Bang. She-boom, bang. I've traveled the world presenting. Boom. Shush. And this is how I help businesses and individuals as well, to present in a very unique and powerful way, presenting with impact. So people sometimes come to me and they speak about culture and things like that. And a world-class communicator can see through all of that. So Elliot has got a book. I haven't written a book yet. I've got 5. An incredible online. He's yet written another book. So he's got 5 in total. I've got my world-class communicator, which is an online course. Check it out. Reach out to me regarding this as well, because there is so much value in there. 3 different manuals. Everything I knew a couple of years ago, it's all in there. And I have a community of over 45,000 students worldwide. So let's get today's room started. Today's room. This is not Clubhouse anymore.
Today's podcast.
Today's podcast. I don't know where where I'm anymore, Elliot K. I know
Well,
this
that's
is the
because
public
obviously
speaking
we run the Elliot and Jose show on Clubhouse. So as this is being recorded, we are there every day, Monday to Friday, 12 o'clock UK time, and we do things all to do with public speaking, which is probably why you haven't quite made the transfer that this is not an app on your phone. And we're talking to camera and mics as well as recorded. I know this is very complicated for you, Jose, but this is the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. Just to remind you where you are.
Thank you very much. It is very complicated. I know. I cannot keep up.
So let's get this podcast started. Here we go. Let's do this with a bit of this. Oh, yeah, you can't beat a bit of that, can you? Can't we? Okay, let's do this.
Amazing.
So today's all about becoming an authority in your niche. So, Jose, what are some of the things that people get horribly wrong when it comes down to building an authority? Not just in your niche, but generally speaking.
I would say the first one at this point, content, is the lack of content that speaks to their audience. So imagine that is what's going to give you the visibility. So, instead of visibility, you're going to have the obscurity. So content that, as I said before, speaks to your audience, that delivers value and enough content to build up. So when people come to
Don't go to tips yet.
Yeah, true. I was going to go to tips. Oh, goodness me. So
remember, we have a format for this show, baby girl.
You should follow the format. Jose's all over the place. Elliot, I think you should get rid of Jose. Just give him a break. The guy is overwhelmed.
Shall I, people?
No, you don't ask that question to people. They may
Go
say
to the
yes.
Instagram right now. I'm going to take a picture of this episode, right? Right, there we go. This is as we're speaking. I'm going to take, and what I want you to do is we're going to post this when this goes live. I want you to comment: should we get rid of Jose?
Should we get rid of
an
Jose?
emoji, but nothing phallic? All right.
No,
the Elliot
don't
and
give...
Jose on Instagram. The Elliot and Jose show on Instagram. Go to there, and when this is published, let's see what people say. They'll probably say get rid of me. Everyone loves you.
Well, that might be for a reason anyway. Content. So I started with content. So they get it wrong, mainly because they don't post enough content. And one of the things is because they believe they don't have anything to say. They don't have quality stuff to put out there. And when they do,
you can't possibly be an authority if you don't believe you don't have anything to say.
Absolutely. That's why that's one of the problems.
Okay, got it. So you believe people fundamentally have something to say. Got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're not saying it.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not saying it. That's why I always say that you've got something to say. This is why I do what I do to, get people to go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that good? Is that good for you, Elliot?
I don't know. I'll put it to the board.
Okay, is it to the board as well? Oh, goodness me. I'm going to be in trouble. Something's going to happen. So, yeah, just give me some of the problems you're finding.
No, that's great. So, again, not believing that you have something to say, not putting enough content out there to provide it. And I think also another key thing to becoming an authority is people aren't willing to be giraffe enough. They're not willing to stick their neck out. They're looking to blend in too much. They want to be more ostrich, more vanilla. They want to just no, I can't rattle about. I can't rattle the status quo. And I think that's a big problem if you're going to be an authority in your field, because if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to be noticed. B, you're just going to sound like everyone else. And C, people won't gravitate towards you unless you have something. Look, let's say this. Pretty much everything that can be said has been said. Ever. Right? Sure, there's innovation, things like that, and there's people that come up with new theories. Okay. But those are the people that will corner the market, right? Because they're doing something that other people aren't doing. So I think that's another one. What's another one for you, Jose? Pow. Wait,
pow,
shall I give you this? Wait.
Yeah, give me a bit
What's
of that.
another one, Jose?
You got me on that one. So we're still speaking about the problems, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about belief. We talked about content. We talked about lack of consistency. We talked about not daring enough, right? Because today's all about building an authority, becoming an authority in your niche, right? You can become an authority, right? Let's maybe discuss this. You can become a global authority, which is hard work, right? So if we take the Kardashians, whether you hate them or love them, they're an authority in a way in building brands. But how did they do that? Through clever use of the media, through letting people into their lives, right? And of course, they already prior to that had a bit of history with the media already. So the mother, who's a very clever cookie, engineered all this, right? They're a global authority, whether you want it or not. Doesn't matter if you like them or not. They have authority. It's hard to build an authority like that. We're talking about niching, narrow it down. We're talking about going deep, preferably, versus wide.
There is, and that's a very good clarification for the audience. And I would say, Elliot, as well, I spoke about mindset, okay? And mindset is going to be a bit broad if I said mindset, because we touched on beliefs specifically as well. There is one thing, a common problem for many people out there is not knowing how to sell themselves and their business and product. That is a big one. And then when we come to tips, we can probably share a few solutions around this as well, because we come across, and we know it on the different programs we run and the show, that, they have got great value, great purpose, all of that. But when it comes to actually put it this way, simplify, ask for the order, they don't get to that point. So they don't know how to attract people to actually say, wow, you know what? Elliot K is fantastic. I'm going to buy from him.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, I think this relates back to being consistent. We interviewed Alex Chisnell recently, and, people give up before the number 7, right? They do 6 podcasts, 6 blogs, 6 talks, right? Oh, I didn't get the sales. It didn't quite work. I'm done. I don't know why there is that number. And I think that's the other thing, is people give up too soon and not giving it enough time, And I know, because you can be consistent for a month, right? I can post every day for a month and not get the results. But if I'm consistent for 5 years, then I might craft a good authority piece. And I never get this. One of my mentors said, people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5. And I think that's very typical when people struggle to build their authority as well. So we've had consistency, confidence, mindset. We've had not daring to be different. We've had not niching deep enough. We've discussed a little bit there as well. Overestimating how quickly something can happen versus the time it will happen. Anything else, Jose?
Yes, I will add lack of flexibility as well. So because once you create your process, if you like, how you're going to get there, because you're being very persistent and consistent, it's also knowing when that's not working in order to change it. And as entrepreneurs and business owners, it's very important to be very flexible in that sense. So that will fall under tips next. So it's that flexibility to pivot when it's needed, and to also understand what's working and what's not. So I would say flexibility is a big part of the process towards success and towards becoming an authority, and today as a speaker.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, shall we tell people what to do about it?
Let's just share away, Elliot K. But first, just play me something, because I'm Latin American, Venezuelan. I need my music.
All right,
give me whatever.
ready?
Give me whatever you've got. I'm ready.
Okay, Jose.
Beautiful.
Take it away with your first tip.
I really like that music. I think we need to find another one so we don't play the same one over and over again. Are you playing it again in the background?
Well, you said you like it.
No, I love it. Yeah. So the first tip is going to be. No, you're distracting me with the music now.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I was going to say, boom, connect with people. It's going to be. Bye.
Okay, seriously, let's do this. Here you go. Ready? Tips time.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, we're gonna be very serious now.
Okay, tips time. Now it's serious. I've played the serious sound.
Right. So the first tip is going to be connect with people. Build relationships. Okay? That's one of the most important things. And I always like to say that I am where I am today because of the people in my life. The inner circle. Who are you spending time with? Think about it. And are these people achieving in a way what you would like in life? That's not to say that you're only going to be hanging out with these kind of people. That build relationships with a purpose. For example, the partnership Elliot and I have has got a strong purpose apart from each other, liking each other and loving each other and everything else. So building relationships. And how do you build relationships? A great way, and I'm going to say it, it may not last. Clubhouse has been an amazing source. Podcasting is another one, going back to tips and things. LinkedIn is amazing. And social networks. Yes, people say, yeah, but they're crowded and everything else. If you go back to what we've been sharing today and some of the tips that are coming next, it's just, creating content that speaks to your audience, reaching out to people with purpose. We had Alex Chisnell recently on our podcast. So you see, all of these connections are being built, are being created. And I mean, there is a saying out there that, your network is not your networks. It's not your network, but your net worth. How is the saying? Something around those lines, isn't it, Elliot?
Your network is your net worth.
It's your net worth. Thank you very much. You see, with this,
Yes.
when it comes to these sayings, phrases, I mix them up. But yeah, the essence is there. And that's what I would say. Building connections strategically. Be strategic about it. Over to you, Elliot K. What's your tip?
You, baby. Here's what I want you to understand is, now this is the Public Speaking Expert podcast. So obviously this is about you speaking professionally, getting out there. When you want to become an authority, getting on stage is one of the greatest ways to do it. Full stop. So get on as many stages as possible. Get out there. And the other thing I want you to understand is learn how to pitch yourself to the event organizers, to the conferences where you need to be seen. So Jose just mentioned relationships, building relationships with event organizers, with conference organizers, with promoters who have your people, who have your tribe, that need to hear what you've got to say, that need your service, that need your product, that need your brand. That's where the authority is built, right? And the other thing I want to add, like you will never be an authority unless you have the assets to go with it. So things like books, thought pieces, reports, case studies, things like that, that show that you've done X and you've built up kudos because you've done this and you're an authority because of this. Now, again, you can be an authority to a very, very small following, 100,000 people or so. Yeah, detach from numbers, let go of numbers. Just aim to serve deep versus wide, and you'll build your authority as well. Over to you, Jose.
I love it, Elliot. I love it. Look, about 4 years ago, and this is something that you can do, I like to work with something that's called the 135. So the one is, and back then, 4 years ago, I had it as wanted to become an authority in my field as a speaker, and I wanted to do a TEDx. Okay, so that was my one. So have that clarity and time bounded. Okay, and then my three underneath were the three strategies that I was going to follow in order to do my TEDx and become an authority, just to give you a bit of structure. And there, under each one of those strategies, I had like 3 to 5 actions. And I followed that to the T. I printed it and I put it on different doors throughout my house. My wife wasn't very happy with it, Elliot, I'm telling you, because they didn't look very nice. They were printed, but it's not like I worked on the design. So they were just there. It was a daily reminder. All of my actions were pointing towards that direction. So my point here, have clarity about who you want to become and start working on how you're going to get there. That would be my tip at this point. I'm going to pass over to you and then pass it back to me, and then I'll bat it back to you, and then we go ping-ponging. Is that fair to say?
Right,
popcorning.
Right.
No, it didn't. Well, I don't want to say anything else. Ping-ponging, popcorning.
I know what you're saying. So I think a key thing to remember when it comes down to building authority is it takes time, right? Let's be honest about it. Give yourself the time to become an authority. We're not talking about overnight sensation. We're talking about becoming authority, someone that's respected, someone of caliber, someone that's worth listening to, someone that walks into a room because of what you've achieved and how you've portrayed it. And I think give yourself the time. Therefore, you've got to tap into that passion and your drive, tap into the resources you do have, look for the resources you don't have, become that avid learner, have that growth mindset that to become an authority, you need to be growing as well, and develop your own kind of persona, your own thing. Like, of course, for me, it's lately become the be more giraffe. What I have to be careful, of course, is not becoming the giraffe man, but the person that talks about being more giraffe, standing out, reaching out. People are always sending me mugs now with giraffes on them. They're tagging me in giraffe because people immediately think of giraffes. They think of me. But equally, people need to think of the value and the quality I bring. So obviously now the book's coming out and people will really get what being more giraffe is all about. And I think that's what's really important here. Have a persona. Have something that people go, oh yeah, Jose, you're the accents guy. You're the guy that helps people with accents to communicate better. That's what's really, really important when it comes down to this stuff. And do remember, of course, if you want to find out how influential you are as a speaker, you can go on our website, or you can go on the Elliot and Jose show on Instagram, but you can go on speakerexpress.co.uk as well. And you click on the assessment and you can find out how influential you are as a speaker, right? You get a test. We give you a mug. We give you a report. You are blown out of the water knowing how influential you are as a speaker, because if you want to be an authority, you need to know about influence. If you need to know about influence, do my test. Do my test. So you can either get it from the Instagram, the Elliot and Jose show, click on the bio, the link in the bio, get access that way, or you can get it on the speakerexpress.co.uk and click on the online assessment. What's another tip, Jose?
Do it. Follow Elliot's advice. That would be another tip.
That's a great tip. I love that. That's my favorite tip so far.
That's the best. That's the best one we've ever had.
I think that was brilliant. Thank you. Carry on, Jose.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And to link it, it's not as important. I mean, what you think is not as important as to what other people think. So, testimonials. That is going to be key, because Elliot and I can say we are great, and some people like to speak about themselves a bit more than others. And yes, that's fine. That's how you're selling yourself in a way, and there is a structure to it as well. We may not have time to touch on this because that would be like a whole show maybe. I keep on calling it show, so imagine loads of episodes around that topic. So Elliot's influencer test is going to be very good for that as well. So testimonials, what do people think about you in your industry? And I come across this all the time. Whenever I invite people to ask for testimonials, there is like a block or something. Ask people to see how they perceive you, because then imagine that you speak once a week and you have an audience of at least 10, 15, 20 people. Imagine if only 2, 3, 4%, they leave you some testimonials. By the end of the month, you may end up with, if I do the numbers right, maybe 20 testimonials. And then whenever you apply for a speaking opportunity, or you want to be a trainer or anything like that, then you can point them towards that direction. And then they realize, wow, I mean, this person has got 20, 30, 100 different testimonials from people. That is very powerful. And that is actually what's going to position as an authority, not what you say you are, but what people are saying about you. So it's how they're perceiving you. And so, Elliot, you mentioned your influencer test. When it comes to, well, you know what? Go to my Instagram, DM me, because I have loads of resources around these things, about marketing, around the different type of content you can create as well. Always come and connect with Elliot and myself. DM us, drop us a line, come to the Elliot and Jose show if Clubhouse is available still. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but keep on coming back to us, because practice is going to be key as well. Elliot K, over to you with another tip.
Cool. And then I think we'll wrap this bad boy.
Beautiful.
So here's the thing. I love what you said there about people. It's about what people say about you. And that's so true. Like I can tell everybody I'm authority in being a left-handed ninja, but unless people are actually turning to me to be a left-handed ninja, and I'm recognized for being a left-handed ninja, and I have the documentation and the books about being a left-handed ninja, and the blogs and the videos and the posts, it's not true. It's just not true, right? It's funny, isn't it? Because they say, like, you are who Google says you are, right? It doesn't matter what you say you are, it's what Google says you are. That's so interesting, the world we live in these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is really, really about what people say you are. And just adding to that, it's building a community, right? I would build a community of people that are raving fans, that of course buy from you and of course follow you, but not blindly. We're not talking about, give me all your money and I'll give you nothing back, right? You add value to that community, you support that community, you build a community, and that will help you actually have the authority. Then you have a community that's hungry for what you're offering as well, and they will support you. You know, it's really interesting how when you serve a community, when the chips are down, they'll serve you. And you build a community because you care and because you want to add value to their lives, not because you want to manipulate them into buying, right? And I think that's a really, really important part of it. Start conversations, talk to people, connect with people. If you want to become an authority, you've got to have the conversations that matter with the people that matter. And that's what I'm going to say on that mark. Jose Ocar.
Beautiful.
Any final tips?
Yes. I would like to say that this is not about you, especially, and I didn't mean like you, Elliot. It is about you. So it's about you, especially when it comes to me. So it's all about you. You see what I'm doing there? It's all about the other person. So it's about adding value, coming from a greater purpose to serve. And that energy, with the right structure, of course, is going to lead people to connect with you, to know you, like you, and trust you. And in that process, you're going to help them make a decision that benefits them. You're educating them. You're entertaining them. You are positively influencing their lives, getting them to take positive action. Do it for them because you care. And it's not about saying it, it's about feeling it. And that is the most important thing you can do as a speaker, as a coach, as a trainer, and as a business owner. That would be my final, the icing on the cake, or the cherry on the cake, or the cherry on the milkshake. No more metaphors, enough.
I love that. Thank you, Jose. I think that's beautiful. So here's the thing as we wrap up. Remember to follow us on Instagram, the Elliot and Jose Show on Instagram. Reach out to us, DM us if you want access to any resources. Of course, you can find those resources on the Instagram as well. Here's what you remember. To build an authority takes time, takes perseverance, takes persistence. It's about what people say about you. So build a community around you. Build a community not to worship you, a community to serve, to add value, to elevate them to be greater and better people in whatever industry you're coming from. And therefore, it will elevate you automatically. Have the assets, the book, the blogs, the videos, the posts to help stick your stick in the sand. That didn't quite work, but there you go. So just remember, in order to begin an authority in your niche, go deep, not wide. Go for the people that matter. Serve them. Don't go for the numbers. Go for impact. This has been another episode of the Public Speaking Expert Podcast.
Woo!
Don't only be a great speaker, but
speak your greatness every time you can, every day. That's what we're here for, because we want you to do just that and inspire others, inspire the world, and have some fun in the process.
You've been listening to the Public Speaking Experts Podcast with Elliot K. and Jose Ucar. Follow us on Instagram and join us next week for even more. Remember to always speak your greatness. Subscribe, rate, and comment.